Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Friday, January 13, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Guyana offers 200 acres of land to India for production of millets. GMSA signs MOU with engine cooling systems manufacturing firm in India. Motorcyclist dies after crashing into container at Wales. Health Ministry monitoring XBB 1.5 strain as COVID infections rise locally, and fire devastates Christchurch Secondary School. Now for the news in detail. The United Nations has declared 2023 as the International Year of Millet, and President Dr. Irfan Ali has offered India some 200 acres of land for the cultivation and production of millets for the private sector. Here is Vanu Manikchand with our lead story tonight.
This offer of 200 acres of land was made by President Dr. Irfan Ali to India's Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar during a meeting on Thursday. According to the Indian ministry, during the meeting, the Guyanese leader asked the Indian minister to send a team of experts to set up millets farm in Guyana and promised all help in production and promotion of millets in the Caribbean and Latin American countries. Further, President Ali also requested the presence of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the upcoming Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, in February 2023 to present India's vision on agriculture and food security. He noted that even a virtual address by PM Modi to the regional leaders will go a long way in promoting and popularizing millets in the Caribbean. Moreover, the Indian Agriculture Minister was also invited to visit Guyana and deliver a lecture on agriculture and millets as a chief guest at the CARICOM Agri Forum set for August 2023. Minister Tomar said the International Year of Millets 2023 will provide an opportunity to increase global production, efficient processing, and better use of crop rotation. He added that it will also promote millet as a major component of the food basket globally. Millets were the first crops to be cultivated in Asia and Africa, later spreading as an important food source for advanced civilization around the world. In fact, the Indian Agriculture Minister pointed out that millets provide an alternative food system in times of increasing demand for vegetarian foods. It contributes to a balanced diet as well as a safe environment, he noted too. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
The Guyana government is looking to reorganize and modernize the country's defense force and is turning to India for comprehensive assistance. While this engagement is in the early stage, President Dr. Irfan Ali has disclosed that technology and capacity building, especially in the field of aviation, are top priorities. Here is Vanu Manikchand again with the details.
During a recent interview with India's NDTV, President Dr. Irfan Ali said both Guyana and India are looking to further expand their bilateral ties in a number of areas. Locally, he noted help is being sought from India to strengthen and modernize the Guyana Defense Force.
We have to reorganize and modernize our military, and part of the discussions with Prime Minister Modi is how we can build a partnership through which India can support this modernization of our military.
According to the Guyanese leader, there is a mutual excitement shared with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on expanding the partnership between the two countries.
For a matter of fact, we are moving so quickly, we have agreed to set up a technical working group. From the side of Guyana, we are putting ministers to co-chair those technical groups, so that we can remove the bureaucracy and we can advance the work in all the areas I've identified very quickly. And of course, we have expressed a strong desire to have President Modi visit Guyana this year so that we can solidify and concretize many of the initiatives we discussed.
And I presume India has accepted, or Prime Minister Modi has accepted that invitation, is that right?
Oh, definitely. Prime Minister Modi is working on ensuring this happens very quickly.
Already, several Guyanese soldiers are currently undergoing military training in India. President Ali stated that Guyana is also looking to tap into the capacity building expertise in the aviation sector from India as well as in technology.
We're looking at many things. One, technology. One, weapons, and we are also looking at the aviation side. India has developed tremendous capacity and capability on military equipment and hardware, on technology, on training, the aviation side. So it is a comprehensive package that we would like to discuss with India. But as I said, this is in the very early stages, and in another few weeks we will have a broader understanding and agreement as to what this partnership would look like.
President Ali, along with a high-level delegation of both cabinet and private sector officials, is currently on a 7-day official visit to India. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Meanwhile, as the Guyana delegation continues to make the most of its India trip, the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association and NBR Cooling Systems Private Limited on Thursday signed a Memorandum of Understanding upon the close of the Global Investor Summit in New Delhi, India. NBR is a well-established manufacturer of a wide array of engine radiators, radiator core intercoolers, and condensers and engine coolants. The company is renowned for its high quality of production and standards and serves several industries such as automotive, generator, and boring machines. With an aim to expand its business operations and grow from being the second largest market player in the cooling systems in India, NBR has selected Guyana to execute the same vision globally. As part of the MOU, the GMSA will identify and engage Guyanese companies or form consortiums to establish a manufacturing assembly plant in the engine cooling automotive sector. The company will leverage NBR's technological advancement, full range of high-quality raw materials and components, market resources, and access to international compliance codes and practices. NBR has committed to injecting an approximate sum of US $1 million during the initial stages of establishment. The framework for the business will incorporate, among other things, the transfer of skills and technologies of manufacturing and assembling radiator condensers and charge air coolers from India to Guyana. It will also incorporate the manufacturing and production of radiator condensers and charge air coolers made from aluminum, copper, and brass, assembling and exporting various radiator condensers and charge air coolers made from aluminum, copper, and brass to all countries in Latin America and to the United States of America. Moreover, the Guyana Office for Investment, GoInvest, and Invest India, the National Promotion Agency of India, have agreed to build cooperation by signing a Memorandum of Understanding. The MOU signing took place at the Oberoi Hotel, New Delhi, India on Thursday, January 12, in the presence of Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, Minister of State in the Ministry of External Affairs of the Government of India, and Dr. KJ Srinivasa, High Commissioner of India to Guyana. This MOU was signed by Dr. Peter Ramsarup, Chief Investment Officer of Guyana and Agency Head of GoInvest, and Deepak Bagala, Managing Director and CEO of Invest India. The MOU is a form of mutual commitment to the strengthening of bilateral investment relations, facilitating foreign direct investment, and aiming at setting a framework to promote exchange of experience and relevant information. Further, the MOU will look at building the business ties between the two nations and strengthening the bilateral cooperation. We now tell you that Public Works Minister Juan Edgel has announced that an additional 132 streets in Region 6 will be rehabilitated under that ministry's 2023 work program. The announcement was made on Thursday during the first day of a 2-day outreach to the region. Funding for the project is coming from the supplementary budget, which was approved by the National Assembly in November last. Here is this story.
The supplementary budget of $44.8 billion saw a substantial portion going to the Public Works and Agriculture Ministries. Overall, 1,053 roads will be upgraded countrywide as rollover projects from 2022. This would see a $22 billion being pumped into the economy. Works would be carried out in Regions 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. As it relates to Region 6, Minister Juan Edgell explained that the 132 roads are being upgraded are in addition to the 355 community roads upgraded in 2022. This final phase will see $4.4 billion being spent. Minister Edgell explained that it is a collaboration between three ministries: Public Works, Housing and Water, and Local Government and Regional Development. During the 2022 work program carried out in the region, a substantial amount of the roads were built with a concrete base. However, under the rollover program, most of the roads to be rehabilitated will have an asphalic surface. On Thursday, the minister and his team of engineers visited several neighborhoods Democratic Council in the region, where he outlined the streets in those NDCs which were going to benefit from the rollover. However, Minister Edgell was very stern after realizing that some contractors had been awarded contracts under the names of different companies. At the Kilcoy Hemisphere NDC, where 20 streets will be upgraded under the rollover project, one contractor was awarded 11 under the names of 4 different companies.
It sends the wrong message. Because of the tender board, 4 companies bid, showing they got their own equipment, they got their own engineer, they got their own staff. 4 separate and distinct companies, and they were awarded work. When it's time to do the work, I can't be talking to one man for 4 companies. In a public forum like this, it doesn't represent what is good and fair. So the engineers, I expect all 4 companies operating simultaneously, and not anybody lining up to get this machine from the one, and when this road done, the one coming on and so on. These roads all got timelines, and everything must come in time.
The minister did not announce his visit to several projects, as residents in several communities had been complaining about the quality of work of some contractors. In East Kanji, the minister has been receiving many complaints. At Douglas Street, referred to as Bristol Street, number 2 Village, residents say that the street was dug up in July and the contractor has only completed 40% of the works.
July, August, September, then October, November, December, and then January. When this work finishes?
Well, why we get good weather? We could finish the work in about 3 weeks.
I don't take the good weather approach, because the residents have already told me here, there's good weather and you're not on site. I have gotten photographs, good weather, the place left broke up, they call it, and you're not on the site. So what is it you're telling me this morning?
That if we get 2 to 3 weeks of good weather, we can finish it by now.
No, sir, you're not going to get 2 to 3 weeks of good weather. You're going to finish this project before the end of this month.
Okay.
And if you don't finish this project for the end of this month, don't show back for work.
On Thursday, the Public Works Minister spent the entire day getting feedback from residents in the different NDCs on the last set of road works executed in their communities. He also urged contractors to carry out their projects in a timely manner, since more work will be coming to each NDC in the national budget to be presented on Monday. Lawanda McAllister, The Evening News.
Coming up, City Hall restoration, contractors encountering more damages than anticipated, and Health Ministry monitoring XBB 1.5 strain as COVID infections rise locally. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
This Christmas, give the gift of life by protecting your loved ones against vaccine-preventable diseases. The Ministry of Health's nightly vaccination campaign continues throughout December at the Ministry of Health tarmac up to 7 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays. Administration of the HPV vaccine for children begins from 9 years old, so come out adults and bring your children to get vaccinated against HPV. But that's not all. Since it's a season of giving, we are gifting back to school supplies to children receiving HPV and COVID-19 vaccines throughout December. Adults, gifts for you too when you are vaccinated at the Ministry of Health, Brickdam, on December 25th, 26th, and 31st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information, contact us at 226-8171 or 226-3103. Vaccinate what you create. A message from the Ministry of Health and UNICEF.
Place your bets during the matches and win up to $3 million per coupon with live betting. Check out all the different matches and bet types at www.superbet.gy. Superbet, your best bet. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The Guyana Revenue Authority has issued another warning against the falsification of documents and/or attempts at colluding with anyone, including GRA officers, to defraud the authority in the course of completing a transaction. The tax body has warned that persons guilty of such unlawful actions are liable on summary conviction to fines and imprisonment of up to as much as 6 months, depending on the nature and severity of the offense. The authority also reminds the public that employees are not authorized to collect any money from taxpayers for any transaction or offer to complete transactions in exchange for gifts. With respect to obtaining provisional driver's license, the GRA reiterates that applicants must first receive the original pass letter from the traffic certifying officer of the Guyana Police Force. Any other source or means used to acquire this document is fraudulent. Further, taxpayers must make all payments at the cashier section and obtain an official GRA receipt as proof of payment. GRA is urging persons who suspect that they are the victims of fraud to request the name and employee ID of the person representing the authority and report the matter anonymously to GRA's Special Investigation Unit's hotline 225-5051 or via email to siu@gra.gov.gy. A 23-year-old motorcyclist lost his life in an accident that occurred along the Wales Public Road, West Bank, Demerara, at around 23 hours last night. Dead is Romano Ramdeen, a resident of Potentia, West Bank, Demerara. Ramdeen was riding motorcycle CK1359, allegedly at a fast rate of speed, when he lost control of the vehicle and it crashed into a container that was located on the parapet. As a result of the collision, Ramdeen was flung into the container and received severe injuries about his head and body. The 23-year-old man was picked up by public-spirited persons in an unconscious state and taken to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Stakeholders are planning their next steps to ensure learning continues after a fire devastated the Christchurch Secondary School yesterday afternoon, making it the third school in the capital city within the span of some 2 years to be destroyed in this manner. Here are the details.
The aftermath of the fire that ravaged the Christchurch Secondary School located at Camp and Middle Streets, Georgetown, displacing 502 students, 39 teachers and 9 auxiliary staff. the fire taking down the 71-year-old building on Thursday afternoon. The fire was detected just after 17 hours, and within minutes, it completely engulfed the structures. In fact, within the span of 4 to 5 minutes, one could see through the remaining structures, made only of beams and crumbled concrete and walls. It was only on January 4th that a fire erupted at the school, but it was successfully doused by firefighters. In fact, it was determined that that fire was a chemical one that started in the institution's lab. Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben, who was at the scene on Thursday night, could not help but highlight this coincidence.
It would appear passing strange, and it would test probability that within 2 or 3 weeks we can have a fire at the same building at a prominent location in Georgetown, where hundreds of children are working on their SBAs and other things. We cannot afford the loss of these assets, and we cannot afford the loss of the opportunities the children have to reach to the level we want them to reach in their education. I'm merely saying that it's passing strange, and it's a tremendous blow. And it is unusual in itself that we have had a number of fires at large schools in the country, all over the country, from Mabruma to Georgetown to other places, that the spike in the number of fires at schools itself has to tell us something.
Education Minister Priya Manik Chand further explained that after the initial fire at the school, it was determined that the electrical wiring was sound.
We know that the building was properly wired, because last week to be able to get a connection back from GPL, we had to have an inspection and approval from GPL. We actually have a certificate that says it's properly wired. So we had to send in electricians here and do all that. So I'm waiting to see what is the reason for this fire.
According to the Education Minister, the act of deliberately setting a school on fire should be treated as the worst form of criminality.
Anybody who sets a school on fire, anybody who endangers children's education, should really be treated as the worst type of criminal, because that is the kind of criminality they're committing for a life, not only the period that the school is down. And so a lot of lives are affected usually. And it's an expensive enterprise, but it's not just the expense, it's the inconvenience. Schools take time to build. Kids writing CXC this year have their SBAs in this building now. Their lab books in this building now, and they're writing in a couple of months.
Minister Manik Chand met with teachers and other stakeholders on Friday to determine a way forward. Up to news time, no decision was announced by the ministry. Meanwhile, when contacted, Fire Chief Acting Gregory Wickham said the investigations are still ongoing, and it was too early to determine what might have caused the inferno.
Last year, the St. George's High School was destroyed by fire, and the year before, a section of the North Rheinfeldt Multilateral School was also destroyed by fire. In 2021, the Northwest Secondary School was also destroyed by fire, determined to have been arson. Contracts have already been awarded for the reconstruction of the Northwest and North Rheinfeldt schools. As the restoration of the iconic City Hall building continues, contractors have been encountering more damages than they had initially anticipated, according to local government minister Nigel Darmelal. Lawanda McAllister tells us more.
When you start removing different panels and components, that is when they start seeing much more damage than we had anticipated. So it is a painstaking process, but I believe we have to be patient with it. It is going to be restored, City Hall, to its former glory, and I think that is what is important.
Local Government Minister Nigel Darmelal speaking exclusively with the Evening News earlier this week, where he noted that notwithstanding these challenges, contractors have assured that the project is on track for the June 2023 completion. However, the minister said even if the work goes beyond time, it will not be an issue due to the delicate nature of restoration projects.
Restoration is quite a delicate, at the same time tedious exercise. I last met with the contractors about 3 weeks ago, and they indicated that they are still on schedule to complete the restoration. But for us, I believe that the restoration is more important. Getting it done properly is more important than a time overrun of a few months. So I'm not really worried about the restoration in the sense that it might go beyond time.
In 2021, a $780 million was signed and awarded to Fides Guyana Incorporated to execute the project. Works were scheduled to start in October 2021 with an expected completion time of 18 months. The local government minister previously shared that the restoration of the building is part of a greater development plan for the country. The City Hall building is more than 100 years old. Lawanda McAllister for the Evening News.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has updated that authorities are keeping a close watch on the XBB 1.5 subvariant of the novel coronavirus, which has been sweeping across several countries. Rupa Sinarain reports.
From samples sent for genomic sequencing last year, the results determined the type of subvariants of the novel coronavirus circulating locally. But these are no longer dominant in places like the United States. Now the focus for local authorities have shifted to the XBB 1.5 strain, which has manifested with increased hospitalization and fatalities in some countries. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony shared during Friday's COVID-19 update that stringent monitoring is taking place to prepare facilities and resources to handle higher hospitalization rates and outcomes should it be detected here. The Omicron XBB 1.5 variant is a sublineage of the XBB, which is a recombinant of the BA2 sublineages.
Right now, I think most people are concerned about XBB 1.5. And as of last week, the WHO had said that that variant is in 29 countries. So it's something that we're monitoring because the presentation tends to be a little bit different. And in combination with RSV and influenza, we are seeing a lot more hospitalization in some countries, and in a few cases you're getting more deaths.
In Guyana, 349 COVID cases are under surveillance, but it is still considered an underestimate of the actual case count. However, only 13 persons are hospitalized. 8 persons are at the infectious diseases hospital, with 3 in the intensive care unit.
Not a lot of people have been utilizing the institutions that we have to isolate. But we have been advising people to stay home and once they test positive. But they have to report it so that we can monitor it. There might be people who stay home without being positive. So it has to be properly documented. In that way, you will get the sick leave and so to cover you if you're working.
Persons have been asked to take a COVID test should they develop flu-like symptoms. Vaccination for both primary and booster doses remain available at the various vaccination sites. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, Guyana's COVID-19 death toll has risen to 1,293 following the deaths of 2 more persons who had been infected with the novel coronavirus. Both these victims are men. One was 70 years old and hailed from Region 3, while the other was 79 years old and hailed from Region 2. Authorities say the 70-year-old's vaccination status is unknown, but the 79-year-old was confirmed to be unvaccinated. This takes the total COVID-19 deaths recorded for the new year to 6. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, January 14th at 10 hours and then again at 22 hours for a period of 1.5 hours each time. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, January 14th at 8 hours 50 for a period of 1.5 hours.
West Indies women touched down in South Africa for Tri-Series, and Guyana Harpy Eagles practice match set for tomorrow. Details of these stories and more in this podcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
This Christmas, give the gift of life by protecting your loved ones against vaccine-preventable diseases. The Ministry of Health's nightly vaccination campaign continues throughout December at the Ministry of Health tarmac up to 7 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays. Administration of the HPV vaccine for children begins from 9 years old. So come out, adults, and bring your children to get vaccinated against HPV. But that's not all. Since it's a season of giving, we are gifting back to school supplies to children receiving HPV and COVID-19 vaccines throughout December. Adults, gifts for you too when you are vaccinated at the Ministry of Health, Brickdam, on December 25th, 26th, and 31st from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information, contact us at 226-8171 or 226-3103. Vaccinate what you create. A message from the Ministry of Health and UNICEF.
Heavy-duty equipment owners and mechanics transfer and dispense grease easily, quickly and precisely from 110 to 132 pound drums with a roughneck air-operated mobile grease pump kit from Sylvies. This durable product saves maintenance time, is designed to be portable, and keeps impurities out of your grease drum. Shop now at sylviesonline.com or visit our 31 High and Hatfield Street store. We also deliver. Call or WhatsApp 623-7755 for more info.
This Christmas, guess what? You're guaranteed to save big right at National Hardware Limited. Shopping for Christmas trees? We've got all sizes from the traditional to the ones with a modern twist. Garlands, wreaths, lights, and Christmas inflatables are what you need to bring that Christmas cheer. Out with the old and in with the new. We've got curtains, carpets, and so much more to spruce up your home for the holidays. Save time too, and get presents for both boys and girls, whether big or small. National Hardware has you covered, in more ways than one this holiday season. Check out our superstore at 13 to 14 Industrial Site, Rumvelt. Telephone number 231-1091-95. Or downtown at 17 to 19A Water Street. Telephone number 227-1961.